Good evening, everyone. Are we live? Is this thing working? Are we on? Of course, it's me before the show that's like exits out of the program completely and needs to reboot. Good evening, everyone, and I hope that you are doing well. I am glad that you did find the link for the presentation this evening. As always, it's strongly recommended that you check the Power School Bulletin when I released in Friday Notes, and the Power School Bulletin, those links are updated in there. So I'm glad that you are with us. I also encourage everyone in terms of, I have folks email me, you've never talked to me all year long. You make sure you log into Parent Portal and make sure that you're checking your kiddo's information on there because that's really, really important. Mm-hmm. So I apologize for any inconvenience, but I am glad that you are with us this evening. Of course, with me this evening is our wonderful team who is smiling after a long day. As you know, our teachers will return to on-site instruction as well. So everyone's preparing to create a welcoming environment for our staff. With Richard Trujillo, the artistic director. Hi, Richard.
Hello.
We have Roxanne Hatfield, the assistant principal for 9 through 12. She also helps lead our counseling department. And of course, Dr. Gordon, who is the assistant principal for our middle school folks as well.
Good evening, everyone.
I want to thank everyone for the wonderful, challenging list of questions. I know that there is a lot of anxiety around what's next and what are we doing, and you know what is the most recent updates and information regarding the reopening. So I'm excited to dive into all of that information and keep us moving forward. So without further ado, I'm going to jump right in to, and by the way, those of you who were on campus today, I hope that you had a great first experience. And those of you who are new to SCPA and you would like to have a self-guided tour, this is just a reminder, you can sign up and check our Friday notes for a self-guided tour that is Thursday starting at 1:30 p.m. It was so good to see some faces, wasn't it?
Yep.
So I invite you that if you're new to our campus and or you have a kiddo that may be experiencing anxiety about where his or her or their classrooms are, to go on campus and take a walk and see some smiling faces for sure. All right, let's jump in to the student experience. So those of you, and this is important, if you have not opted for on-site instruction, then this presentation really is not for you because your student is going to continue online learning much like they have for the entire school year. Okay, nothing will change in terms of their schedule except for the 5-minute start time, right? We start at 8:35 instead of 8:30, and I believe we start at the next period at 10:50 instead of 10:45. So if your student opted for online learning, then they are going to continue with their schedule much like they were from the beginning of the year. This presentation is for information regarding students who have opted to return to on-site instruction beginning April 12th. So that is Monday, April 12th, next Monday. One of the things I want to encourage is a lot of your anxieties and a lot of your questions and information about specific classes, those can be addressed with the student's teacher, right? If you're having individual, how is the classroom going to be set up? Those sorts of questions. We have over 100 classrooms and they're all unique and different in terms of how they're set up. Our rules on our end are all about maintaining the 6-foot physical distancing between classrooms. But I know that teachers will show pictures if you'd like to see the classrooms, if you're having questions about their policies, their daily procedures and whatnot. Our staff is there on campus to support you all in this journey. So without further ado, let's move forward. One of the first things I need from all of you is to make sure you've completed the opt-in form. Friday Notes is where you can get all of your Friday Notes information. And if you watch the presentation that we created this weekend and or the PDF, on social media, you'll see this slide here. It's the return to school opt-in form, and you can just click right on that blue little link, fill it out, and you will be all set, ready to go. So you should absolutely do that step one. You will not be allowed in the campus for on-site instruction until you complete that opt-in form, okay? I'm trying to make your morning, especially on Monday and Wednesday when you come onto campus, I'm trying to make your morning as stress-free as possible and as fast and efficient as possible. So first things first, make sure you get that opt-in form. We cannot accept your student on site if you have not completed that form. I'm saying it over and over again because I'm hoping repetition instills that memory link that you need to go back and complete that form. Okay, and the link is actually in the chat right there. Woohoo! I'm looking at some questions, a link for before Thursday. I'm not sure what you're asking, comma. And I know, Rosaria, I did receive your emails and I am thinking about you. Unfortunately, I don't have control of transportation at the school site. I'm there with you, heart and spirit. Unfortunately, we lose quite a few families because of transportation. I'm hoping that you're not one of them, but I will respond accordingly. The next step on our agenda, so opt-in form first. The next thing you want to make sure you've done and completed is the daily clear pass. So the opt-in form will be checking on the first day, and your student will not be allowed on campus until they've completed it. That is a parent waiver saying, hey, we are opting into on-site learning. The next thing is a daily ticket, and it's a clear pass. And those of you who came onto campus for the first time today, you had your first experience. We know that not all students have cell phones. Good on you, right? We know that not all students are gonna have access to the technology to download the application and show us every day on their cell phone. If they do, wonderful, it's easy and it's fast. If not, we will have a printed version available. There's a PDF that we can download that you can download daily, and or we will have mini slips of paper every day. You must take your temperature before you arrive onto campus. This is the application that you can download onto your phone. It is not the link, however, to ClearPass for San Diego Unified. So I want you to make sure you're using the ClearPass app that is in our presentation, your student presentation. I tell you what, every day, all staff, the faculty need to do it. I have not downloaded the app yet, but I do Google SDUSD. I Google SDUSD, ClearPass.
We all do.
I log in. I know some parents were like, wait a minute, how do I get a login? You know this takes into a login, right? And I'm like, yep. And your kiddo will probably know the login because they've been logging in every day to their online learning classes. It's the same login for students every day. It has a series of maybe 7 or 8 questions about temperature, exposure to COVID, so on and so forth. And if that's green, you're good to go. If you get a red or you answer, I believe, yes to any of the questions, then you are not allowed to enter that day, and we will wait for you to get picked up. So it's important. There you go. There's your green pass. So all teachers and staff in the morning, they're all flashing their little green phones in order to get onto campus each day. Okay, so big items, right? Number 1, opt-in form. You can't move at all onto campus until that piece is done. So opt-in form first. ClearPass. I would fumble through it a few times. I would learn how to use it. I would learn the series of questions. There's going to be one more ticket that you need every day. Every day you're going to need that ClearPass. Okay, so make sure you learn what those questions are, how to answer them, and make sure you take your temperature before you come to campus. Team, how are we doing? We get on that? Anything I need to add?
No, I just think, you know, again, reiterating for folks that the whole procedural aspect of getting onto campus is going to be new for a lot of folks, and it's a cultural shift, and it's probably not going to go away even if we lower the tiers. So it's just important that we do it and understand it, and it's a part of our process.
Yes.
I'll just add, Richard, all of us, students and staff, go through the same process every single time we come on the campus. So it's not just students, it's staff as well.
Yep. Every day. And the consistency is everything. It's about having all the systems in place so that everybody is on the same page with it. Okay. Student schedule. I believe there's a cute little slide here that's excerpted from my presentation. Okay. Here's the deal on this. And I know that it sounds confusing at first, but it's actually, hopefully today, it'll be cleared up for you. Because of the number of students and the regulations around class sizes with terms of physical distancing of 6 feet, we opted to go for the 2 days of instruction. And we've done this by dividing the school in half by last name. So those students whose last names are A through L, you will go to on-site instruction, periods 1 and 3 on Monday, and 2 and 4 on Tuesday. Yeah, I'm gonna say that. So on Mondays and Tuesdays, students with the last names A and L, and you opt to be on site, you will show up for instruction. My A and L students, you will remain online on Wednesday, Thursday, and then Friday. Okay, and then we flip. So my students with last names M and Z, you will show up for on-site instruction if you opted to on Wednesday and Thursday, and you will be online for Monday, Tuesday, and Friday. So all of those students who have opted to on-site instruction, you have 2 days or 1 period each week. I'm going to pause there because I want to take a moment before the next slide shows up. Yeah, you know, I would love to do the 4 days of instruction. I'm with you. I'd love to do 5 days. I'd love to have everybody back. The reality is I want to plan accordingly and make sure we are following all of the guidelines. I think some of the largest class sizes we saw, we could easily do within a classroom. So we've literally split the school in half. Now I know that some of our households have different last names. Please reach out to your counselor or one of us so that we know and we can note on it, right? Let's say that I'm in the same house as Trujillo and we're brothers, but we both are going to go on the same day because that's what our transportation allows. Just say, hey, my son Richard and little Timmy are going to show up on Mondays and Tuesdays because of transportation. We are here to help you and accommodate you. We are not here to keep kids away. So on that, we're flexible. What we're watching for is just to make sure that none of the class sizes go too big where they become unsafe. Okay. When we were doing a tour around campus, we could safely fit 23 students around the perimeter of most of our classrooms. I know there was a question about when we see pictures of our classrooms. I could take 112 pictures, but they're all so incredibly different. Just the way they're set up, the way they're positioned, where the door is, where the ventilation and the windows are, and all those things make impacts in terms of how they're set up. So I could send you a picture and I'd be a fraud if you believed that they were all looking the same. And I know that we could get at least a good 23 in there. We don't have any class sizes that big. So I'm confident that we can get all those kiddos in. And look, if there's any doubt or any question, we're in this together to fix it, right? So I believe our production assistant here, Guterres, is going to show this slide, but I'm going to say this right now, it's more confusing than it really is. It looks kind of confusing, but go ahead. Let's look at this slide here. It's the student schedule. It's Monday through Friday with the start times. So you can see periods 1 and 2 on Monday. Yeah, it's period 1 and 2, and then 2 and 4. Sorry, 3 and 4. I don't know why I keep messing that up. But you can see on Monday and Tuesday, it's the students with last names A through L. You will come onto campus, while students with M through Z are in the online Stable 2 group, if that makes sense.
And Mr. Farson, you may just want to clarify the term stable group.
So stable group, I know there was such a hot topic last time. So there are no longer pods or cohorts, meaning The stable group that we have are the students that have opted in and are in the letters of the alphabet A through L, M through Z. So there is no staggered start and end times. There's no one classroom that everyone's staying in and teachers moving. The group that we have is sufficiently small in order to navigate on the campus. We have a big campus. So everyone can physically stay 6 feet apart, respectful of the current guidelines for health and safety, and travel between classrooms, and then go in and out of classrooms. So that's a critical piece. So when I'm saying stable group, I'm meaning students A through L that are showing up on Monday and Tuesday, and I'm meaning the stable group of M through Z on Wednesdays and Thursdays. It is not cohorted with the current guidelines. I want to notice on this schedule as well, 1:30 through 3:30. That is time that students will resume back online so they can go for tutoring, additional supports, you name it, what was happening before. A lot of our teachers will continue to do throughout the school day. So teachers will be on campus. Our hope and dream is that we will soon be able to offer after school programming. And all of that programming, what it looks like and what we're able to offer will depend on the most recent guidelines. So that's another critical piece. Every student will be getting a lunch, what we call a grab and go lunch on their way out. It's literally going to be as soon as the bell rings, all students need to move to the front of the campus and exit the building. And they will literally grab the lunch and head out to either the transportation pieces. The hours of our campus are from 8 o'clock in the morning. Again, first period starts at 8:35, so we open 35 minutes before the first bell. And 2 p.m. the gate will completely close. So we want to make sure that students are dropped off, obviously before 8:35, but not before 8 p.m. or 8 a.m., and that they are picked up before 2 p.m. Okay, and hopefully as we get more programming after school, we can start to do more things on campus, and there'll be more availability of transportation as well. So I'm going to stop and pause there for a moment. I just want to make sure everyone's on the same page with me here and is understanding the schedule. Great question on Friday. So Friday is going to be, so again, odd Fridays and even Fridays. Am I right on that, Roxanne? It's 1 and 3, right? Okay. Oh, my puppies. On Friday, we'll have period 1 and 3, and the next Friday, you're going to have periods 2 and 4. And it's only scheduled, I believe, for 15 minutes, correct? But the start times of 8:35 and 10:50 are going to remain the same. So you know that the teacher's contract was signed and published and approved, and you know that even this week we will still have a modified schedule. I have a lot of you emailing me saying, I don't know, my teacher just keeps going. I know, because our teachers are committed to kids and they have been doing meeting with additional students during that time period. So there are times we left that space open so that teachers could have individualized instruction and further support for students. And this is all based upon the teacher and what they're choosing to do. So to answer your question, the actual class is by contract and what we're offering them, I believe the 20 minutes. But many of our teachers will be available and continue with instruction, individualized instruction and support as much as the students need. So that is a critical piece. Roxanne?
Yeah, I think we need a clarification point, actually.
Yeah.
I'm messing up something.
Yeah.
We're doing alternating A-B day. So some Fridays will be an A day, some Fridays will be a B day. So we'll do periods 1 and 2 one Friday, and then periods 3 and 4 the next Friday.
Thank you. Yes, that's what it is. I keep going to the old odd and even days, and I'm like, yeah, I don't think that's right. It's 1 and 2,
That's why I was like, no.
and then 3 and 4.
Yeah,
Sorry about that. I keep messing
And I
it up.
just want to thank Miss Barcelona, who's out there and on tonight's meeting as well, because she texted me saying, no, I don't think that's right.
Yeah.
So thank you.
Yes. Thank you. No, we did not send out confirmation emails. And I don't know if you know this, we don't have So the district survey and whatnot we didn't have we did not operate that survey. We just got the data back. So we are going to assume, and we don't need you to confirm, but if you'd like to confirm, you may email us and say, hey, I want hybrid or online or confirmation, but no. You're going to show up when your student is scheduled, and that's how we'll move forward. Okay? Nothing is set in stone. There is no prime time at SCPA, unfortunately. Let's
Hey,
see.
Tim, there's
Yes.
a question for Mr. Dan Wise regarding picking up his daughter after 1:30 or 1:45. Can she stay on campus and do homework somewhere until he can show up to get her?
I don't have a place that they can stay to study on campus yet, so they'll be waiting outside. But I do have a person outside supervising. My goal is to get something open that students can, like the library study tables that we normally have. My goal is to get that established as soon as we can.
There's a question about students who have a home period or a CCAP lab. We are going to have some designated rooms for those students if they are using the district transportation to come on site on the 2 days that they are scheduled to come. So when they pick up schedules Monday morning, and everyone will receive a schedule, it will tell them which classroom they can go to during that time until the end of the day bell rings and they pick up their lunch and they can get on the bus at that point.
Okay, let me. One thing, I know that some folks are starting to ask the questions they asked on the survey. I actually have all of your questions printed out with printed answers, and I will share that when we get some of that piece as well. So I will share that with you.
I just want to add something. I love that our faculty is on tonight's meeting and listening, because it just shows parents the care and the attention to detail that our faculty are really trying to follow through on. So yes. It's a tough return right now, and we appreciate your patience.
Okay, I do want to move on to one of the hot topics is transportation. So it's important to understand that LaShawn White at our school site is the site contact. However, at the school site, we don't control bus stops. We don't control who gets a bus ride and who doesn't get a bus ride. We don't control any of the scheduling information. That is all done through the district. And I believe there's going to be a slide that probably pops up if I keep talking about it. This is the contact information for the district transportation folks. LaShawn White collects at the beginning of the year transportation paperwork that is then communicated to the district. The district transportation folks that you see here, they are the ones who send out all the bus route informations. They are the ones who decide where and when the bus routes will occur and when they won't. They're the ones who cancel and modify the bus routes. The school site, me, SCPA has nothing to do with that part. And so we give you their information because they have all of the information regarding how it's rolling out. And I just want to make sure you have that contact information. Excuse me. I do want to move then to the map because I wanted to show how folks will be moving through. So those of you who have never been to our school site, I want to thank those of you who came today, and I encourage you to come Thursday, but I want you to get a feel for the layout. It is a big campus. So you can see one of the things we try to honor here is that we want to keep the traffic pattern flowing in one direction through the campus. So when you see me standing there and say, don't turn left, it's because I don't want to create a traffic jam because I know everyone is running on time and we don't want anybody late for work, but we also don't want to create a jam that backs up everybody for hours. And I speak from experience because I know that happens. I want to be mindful of the green student entrance and exit gates. That is where all students will enter and exit. That is not to be confused with the staff entrance that is on the north end, okay? Parents, we ask that you do not go in and out of the staff parking lot. that is for staff, and we want to make sure that we are keeping that clear for our staff to be on work on time, and that we are keeping that entrance clear for them, because they also have the same process of entering our campus each day. So again, the opt-in form, and then your daily clear pass. And then I wanted to show you where that one main entrance is. This is where you're going to pick up the kiddos, and you're also going to drop them off. So that's a big piece. I think also on the map that is included in the presentation, there are, I want to count one more time. Our restroom facilities are located throughout the entire campus. The women's restrooms are all stalls, and so the limits are posted on every restroom, male, female, or non-gendered restrooms. All of them are posted as to the limit, and students will be able to see how many folks are in and out of there. Just quickly, when you walk in, you can quickly see. I don't anticipate any problems because we have a number of facilities for kiddos. And if kiddos need to use the restroom there's also teachers working out their policies and procedures during class to use the restroom as well. We do have campus supervision on campus. We also have more cameras put on campus. So we are watching very much where students go, where they are, and where they're navigating throughout the day. I'm going to pause here for a brief moment and take any additional questions or questions that I may have missed.
And Mr. Farson, while you're pausing, may I just talk about the tours? Folks, normally we love giving tours of our campus and showing folks the excitement and the beauty and the grace of SCPA. If you want to come and get a sort of acclamation of where certain things are, Mr. Farson has been encouraging you, come on Thursday and come and take a quick 15, 20-minute tour to allow yourself and your student to at least know where each of the sections and where the buildings are located in a general sense. It's not exciting. It's not, there's no bells and whistles, but it does give you a sense of peace in knowing that your student will know exactly where to go once they arrive on campus, especially if you've never been there. Or you could take the virtual tour. The virtual tour is actually quite fun.
It is fun. And yes, parents are welcome to walk along with their students. Everyone must complete a little clear pass questionnaire saying that you have not been exposed, do not have a temperature, so on and so forth. And then, of course, everyone must be 6 feet apart. All kids 6 through 12. That's what's beautiful about our school. We don't separate our kids. All kids are together 6 through 12. It's what creates the beauty of SCPAs. We have little ones that mentor both ways, actually. Roxanne, Ms. Atfield, I do believe there was a CCAP question for you there by 36.
Yes. Depending on which day your student is scheduled, if you're A through L or M through Z, if you come in on Monday morning, every student's going to get a schedule. On their schedule, it will tell them what room they are in for their CCAP or their home period. Some students have home periods, and some students have CCAP lab periods. So it will be on their schedule. We'll have schedules ready for students on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday when they're on campus.
Yep. Dr. Gordon, can students use their own laptop, or do they have to use the school laptop?
Students are able to use their own laptops. Of course, when we start doing our assessments, if that does come, we have Chromebooks for our students to use to take their assessments, but students are welcome to bring their own computers and devices to school.
Students do not bring their own lunch. They should just going to grab one on the way out. So, because we won't have lunch during the day. It's grab and go. So there's no eating on campus. You should be outside the campus by then.
So students will also be able to take a breakfast for the next morning when they grab their lunches at the end of the day.
Yes. I believe Ms. Gutierrez is going to put up the next slide, which answers about backpacks and what students bring. Oh, look at that. Ready to go. So bring your mask. There was a question about masks and what sort of masks. So we're using the CD compliance and recommendations for masks. So no like single layer gaiters. We want to use form-fitting masks without valves. We also have, we will also have masks available. You can bring yours, but we also have extras or backups in case yours is not acceptable and or you forget it. We'll have something for you. Your laptop, you want to bring it every day. You want to make sure that it is charged and ready to work. I know there was a question about why, if my student is learning on site, do they need a laptop? Because even when you're on site, kiddos are always using technology. And so we want to have that laptop every day ready to go. We recommend they also bring their chargers. I believe each room will have chargers, but we don't want to interrupt the instructional time. And so I recommend that you also bring your charger to plug in so you can keep working and it doesn't hold you back. Every day, I'm going to keep saying it. You need to bring your Clear Pass because that's your ticket in. Your headphones. I think this is also a question. Why does my kiddo need headphones? There are times when students are working privately or if they're writing and they want to have music and or they're watching a specific presentation for the learning outcome of the day, small groups or one-on-one instruction. It may be the case that a kiddo would prefer to have headphones. And it's a courtesy to neighbors, right? If we have 36 different kids in different places working on different projects, we want to make sure that everyone can hear and respect the listening space of others. And then, of course, a backpack, because that's a lot to carry, or some way to transport your laptop, your charger, any books or work that you may have, your headphones, etc. So, yes, students may bring a backpack. They may bring a bottle of water. We actually have bottled water fillers on our campus now. Students will not be able to eat or drink in classrooms, but if they need to step outside the room, they could grab a quick drink of water. This is especially true in case of like PE and dance. Those kiddos will be able to step out of the classroom, stay 6 feet away, take a swig of water, and then put your mask back on. These are all little nuances. And you know what? The reality is we can easily get lost in the details of how each class is going to look. And this is going to greatly depend on the teacher, their classroom routines and procedures, and how they are going to make sure every student is following the rules, right? You got to maintain the distance. You have to wear your mask. You can't eat or drink in classrooms. And we got to take care of each other. And that's really what today's, and like I said, yes, a student may bring a snack or water. They will not be able to eat it in the classroom. And they will not be eating lunches or anything like that on lunch. So they will be needing to get off campus. I think there was another CCAP question for you there, Roxanne Hatfield.
If the student does not have bus, or if the student doesn't need to ride the bus, do they need to attend CCAP lab on campus? No, they do not. They may remain at home during that time. Or if their CCAP lab is at the end of the day, they may leave early.
Yes, they may. So Rosario, again with the transportation, we don't control the stops. I don't know how many we have. I do think they vary each year because they vary upon the number of students within a certain specific radius. I'm sorry that I don't have control over that. I'd give everybody a bus. It's been a drastic change. We went from 22 buses to 5 or 6, so it's definitely tricky.
Yeah, I think actually
yes.
when Tim and I started, it was 27 buses.
Yeah, it's drastic nowadays.
There is a question about, can I print a Clear Pass and fill it out before we get to school? Actually, you're encouraged to do that. We'd actually like you to do it before you leave the house. That way the temperature check has been accomplished and you've been able to fill it out prior to arrival.
Mm-hmm. AJ, I'm not sure. All district laptops were already issued. If your student does not have a laptop, we strongly encourage you. There will be an opportunity for students to check out laptops on April 12th as well. Dr. Gordon, am I correct?
Yes, that is correct. And AJ, if you can come to campus between now and Friday, we can get you a Chromebook to use immediately.
Yes, we want to make sure everybody. So I think there's a slide about has little people standing 6 feet apart. I just wanted to kind of go over this. I sent the 10 things to think about and talk about with your families. I think it's really important as we all move forward to understand why some students are there and why some aren't. I think it's important to be very upfront about the expectations about wearing a form-fitting masks without like no valves or gaiters. I think it's important that the 6 feet physical distancing is incredibly important, even though we know the CDC reduced it to 3.5 feet. We're still maintaining 6 at this time. I know that's going to be hard. It's hard for the adults who all just want to hug each other and cry and laugh that we're back on campus. No congregating, I mean, you're not just hanging out. We have to get to class. We have things to do. Class changes at this time of day. It said staggered. They're not staggered. They don't need to be staggered at this point because the numbers, we're all able to maintain the 6 feet distancing. And that if students can't, we're going to have some conversations with parents, right, about how we can best support your kiddo, or if maybe online learning is the best option for your student, right? I mean, if you can't respect the health and safety of other students and staff, then we're going to have to ask you. This is the last resort to then move into online learning. And then the last slide is just the leadership team. I want to put the contact information up here real quick, and I'll pause.
You know, while Mr. Farson has paused and you're looking at our leadership team, I know there's so many questions. I just want to reiterate, when it comes to instruction in the arts, we're blessed to have 5 different majors and 10 different programs of study for students on our campus. And that includes our middle school students. And so it's so critical that you connect with your teacher if in fact you have specific questions about instruction and what that's going to look like. Each of our professionals does an outstanding job of taking into consideration all of the different factors, especially during this time, that they need in order to be successful in the classroom. And I think we've been overwhelmed with just how amazing they're doing in preparation.
Yes, and I was going to say, make sure we get that parent app that parents may sign up, because it does connect carpoolers, and that has been a savior for a lot of our families in transportation. It's the carpool app. And again, if there's carpools and you guys are the ones who are traveling safely together, but you have different last names, let us know so we can accommodate you on the days that you show up. Do we need to print the clear pass? No, you can show it on the student's phone, or you can submit a paper version of it. I think someone had asked for the link. Do we have a, yeah, I was gonna say, we'll have extra papers from the school too, so you can complete them each day. Okay. So I also want to put in, thank you all for all of the questions that you submitted to us. And I apologize, some of them I didn't quite understand. So if that is the case, just email one of us. We're here for you and try to navigate what the answer is. But if we could also put in the links to the questions that parents have asked, I want to make sure that you have all of that information as well. I think I tried to cover a lot of them as we were moving along, but I will pause and wait for any additional questions. And there are the questions asked. I also know one of the questions that came up is, are my students going to have the same teachers? Yes, nothing in this schedule is changing. If you had Mr. Trujillo for first period, you're still going to have Mr. Trujillo for first period. The students that are with you that day will be the ones who opted in. I'm guessing that most classrooms you'll be both, that you will be on site, but you'll also be logged into Zoom at the same time. There's what we call roomies and zoomies, folks who are in the room with you, right? And those who are on Zoom, and there may be like cooperation or partnering online, simultaneous. There's some really innovative now ways that teachers are working with the groups that are in front of them and the ones that are online, flipping it, moving it, and using the technology that we have. The district has done a wonderful job at making sure not only the health and safety precautions are in place. I mean, one of the questions is where's all the money going? A lot of it is the PPE, the filtration systems in our schools. As you know, much of the facilities are incredibly outdated. They have done some tremendous work on updating the HVAC systems across the district, which is an expensive feat. They have put in HEPA filter systems, masks, you name it. The technology increases have been drastically improved as well, and so it's an expensive transition, absolutely. 600, slightly more than 50% of our families. I actually think it's closer to 700. We currently have like 1326 students. It's actually in the, somebody had asked me how many ninth graders were returning. So at the time I extrapolated that data, it was 604. I believe we're at like 680 or 690 students returning.
Oh, and I love that 36 book, Love and Lift. Absolutely.
Love and Lift. That is right. Any other questions that we can help you with or information? If anything comes up, make sure that you feel free to email us. Our staff is back on campus now. The front office staff is there. We're ready to assist. We're ready to support. We know there's a lot of anxiety as we ease into. You guys have all been incredible with demonstrating the grace and the perseverance as we move into these rough transitions. I know many of you have navigated some incredible losses in your families, in your lifestyle, in your work, your jobs, and we are here to, as 36 Books says, love and lift. As we say very often, love and lift.
You know, Mr. Farson, I just want to add to our community that's listening tonight too. You know, the staff just returned yesterday, and it has been an emotional welcoming back. It's moving to be back on campus. So be prepared, parents, when you bring those kiddos back that haven't been around for a while. Be prepared for some emotion. It's quite wonderful. We are really looking forward to seeing our kids again. And it's going to be a powerful moment on Monday.
It is. I think, yeah. When I walked into the film studio, I think that's when it hit me, because normally when I walk into the film studio with all of the cameras, you see all of the different stages in action. You see all the different classrooms happening, and you're like, this is like beauty, right? You see 6 through 12 kids working together, doing what they love. And I walked in, all the screens were black, but I instantly then could start to hear and see and feel what it felt like when the kids are back doing what they love. And you can't touch it. It's just, and Elizabeth, no, your student cannot just attend arts classes. They must attend all the classes. They don't get to pick and choose. Sorry. But yeah, we are, I can't, it's there. Every time we keep now walking into the classrooms where teachers are teaching and Zoom bombing them saying, are you coming? We can't wait to see you. If they haven't told you that, we have a hard time staying away from them. Thank you all for your support, and thank you for the thank yous. It's been a tough process, but like I said, thank the Lord above that I have such an incredible team and people around us to who's harder in the right places and are out for what we know is the most responsible thing to do. And you do have a cautious leader with our team. I admit that I am a cautious leader. I don't like to throw everybody in and do 4 days with all 700, 600 students there. I am being cautious, and our goal is we'll move forward when we feel comfortable and we get in our routine. So thank you all so much for being with us this evening. We appreciate you. Thank you, Mr. Trujillo, Roxanne Hatfield, Dr. Gordon, Gutierrez, behind the scenes. Thank you so much. Cruzanne, my assistant, thank you so much. All of our staff that is out there right now answering questions. I always feel crazy because I want to type in their little comments too, but I can't type in there. So, oh, hi, Lorraine. Thank you. If a student cannot attend school in person on a specific assigned day, can they still attend online? So if they're sick for a day, yes. But if you have multiple absences, you'll be shifted to online. We will call you and we'll say online may be the best option for you. We are headed in the right direction, Becky. We're going to do this. Thank you, March CB. Yes, we are going to do this. We are so excited. I can't wait to get him back.
Pino, thank you.
Thanks, Dan. Hang in there, everyone. I know this is tough, and I know it's not ideal, but we're going to keep moving forward, and we're going to try to get back to what we keep talking about is that little spark that sometimes gets hidden right now in these days, especially being online. We have some work to do to relight, reimagine, and redo what we do.
Yeah.
I can't wait. Thank you all for being with us this evening. Your presence speaks volumes and means so much to us. What about if we need to be on quarantine? If you need to, why do you need to be on quarantine? No, if you need to be on quarantine, then you need to be on quarantine. If you test positive for COVID or something like that, and or you fail the COVID symptom or the clear pass, the nurse will work closely with you to make sure. And we do so the stable grouping and the class sizes are smaller to allow us to contact trace and inform families and let everyone know when things come up. Love and live. I think, Richard, you said that in an admin meeting maybe 2 years ago, and it's been that movement, love and lift. I think I say that now like so many times a day. Love and lift. Love and lift. Love and lift teachers. Love and lift parents. Love and lift students. We're here for you.
SCPA, we're a family. It's a remarkable place. We're going to take care of each other. Your student, Rosaria, your student can stay online for now if they choose to do that.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. And I know this is a joke in these rumors of people talking about my zoo cups. Everybody, I am a zoo member and I go to the zoo and these zoo cups, they always make fun of me drinking out of my zoo cups. I save these guys. These are wonderful. I see the memes out there, okay? I see the memes. Principal chat with Mr. Farson. He has a big zoo cup. Well, thank you, everybody. Have a good evening. Roxanne, are you laughing at me?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Because you bring up something random like zoo cups and me.
Yeah, because that's the kind of stuff that after these little chats, people come back and be like, why do you always have that cheap plastic cup?
You know what? I gotta say, folks, if you're watching, if you've been watching us, this is the four of us regularly. Yeah. I mean, this is just how we roll. So,
yeah,
it is what it is. I love you all so much. Thank you, and have a good evening.
Yeah.
Take care.
There you guys.
Good night, everyone. Thank you.
Night.